Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Emily and this is Magical Moments with M. I will be talking to you today about how I use my iPad for school, for personal life, for everything in between, all of the little widgets and home screens and lock screens and all of that jazz. So if you're interested in this video, then keep on watching. And before we get into this video, if you're interested in seeing more college and lifestyle content, as well as probably a few body care / self-care videos here and there, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It would be awesome if you did, and give this video a like. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, so the first thing that I have is my lock screen. So it's just this really pretty vision board that I designed on Canva. It has all sorts of things that I want to accomplish within the next year to 5 years down the road. So it has things like clear skin, pretty hair, my dream job, which would be to work with or at Disney at some point. This is more geared towards the college program and stuff. It also has cameras and video editing stuff, which I've already accomplished. I've already done a lot of this because of my YouTube channel. I wanted to start one and I ended up starting it within the first 2 months of the new year, which is awesome. But yeah, it also has things like working out, being healthy, drinking water, all of that stuff. Unplugging is something that I really wanted to do. Just taking some time away from social media, away from my cellular device. Cellular device, that sounds so technical. But taking some time away from my phone to just enjoy my surroundings, enjoy being on campus, taking a walk, going to get food, all of the little mundane things that I feel like people tend to forget. But because of quarantine and COVID and all of this stuff, it's made me really appreciate my everyday life a lot more than I used to. So I really want to start taking some time away from social media and just focusing on my surroundings, nature, just taking a little bit more time for myself. Alright, so now we get to my home screen. So this is the first picture that I have on my home screen. It's a bunch of widgets, little spring theme here. My background is this. It looks different versus on landscape mode, but it's just a very pretty pink aesthetic that I really love. The first top widget with the time is from Widgetsmith, and then the rest of them I'm pretty sure are by Color Widget, especially the calendar. I know the calendar is from Color Widgets. The others might just be from Widgetsmith actually. But I really love this little home screen. I've been redoing it every month, but I feel like this one's probably gonna stay here until summer because I really love it. It's got a picture of the Disneyland Paris castle and the Disneyland entrance for my calendar, as well as a picture of Aurora and the Cinderella carriage. And then in these folders, I have a music folder that has my Pandora and Spotify in it. And then I have video chatting, which has both Zoom and FaceTime, as well as Google Duo, because a bunch of my friends have Androids, therefore don't have FaceTime. So as something that goes with both. And then I have Zoom because I sometimes use it for school. And then in this bottom corner, I have all of my social medias. So I have Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and YouTube Studio. And then down here I have a bunch of random streaming apps. So I have Disney Plus, NBC, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. And then we get into this next slide that has all of my school involved things. So it has a to-do list at the top that I have linked with my Reminders app on my iPad that I have through Widgetsmith. So Widgetsmith will actually take a reminders list and make it into a widget. So that's what I have here. If you want to see a video on how I make these widgets, then leave me a comment and let me know so I can make that for you. I won't go into that in much detail in this, but there's a way for you to make widgets for all sorts of things. And then in my school folder, I have my CU Navigate, which is how I do all of my advising appointments and how I find my classes and what buildings they're in and all of that stuff. That's all in there. I have Canvas, which is my lifeline for school. It's where all of my assignments and stuff are. I have GroupMe, which is how a bunch of my classes communicate with each other instead of just with the teacher. So if a student has questions, they can ask, or any of sort of collaborative thing. I have class group projects that use GroupMe to communicate. So it's just a really great thing to have. I also have GoodNotes, which is where I take all of my notes. I also download all of my textbooks to it, which is awesome. It also links to my MacBook. I have Kindle, which I have one of my textbooks this semester I was able to get it on Kindle for free, so I have it on my Kindle here. I also have Revel. This is for a specific class. It's how we do all of our homework assignments. And then I have my Appfolio, which is how I take care of all of my future payments for rent, because I'm right now not living in this place that requires this Appfolio app, but I will be within a month. So I have this app so that I have all of my things all in one place. And then this is my note-taking. So I have Notability, which is just like a great place to do random notes. If I feel like GoodNotes isn't a good place for it, then I'll write it in Notability. I also like to make to-do lists in here. And then I have 3 shortcuts that all go to GoodNotes for 3 of my classes. 2 of them I don't need to take notes for, so I don't have a notebook for them, but these 3 I do take notes for. So I made all of these covers in Procreate, and then I made a shortcut using the Shortcuts app to make these covers of these shortcuts so it can go straight to my notebook without me having to tap through all of the folders in GoodNotes. And then I have presentations, so it has Google Slides, Apple Keynote, as well as Microsoft PowerPoint. Depending on the situation, I'll use either one of these, depending on, what the teacher wants, what I feel like is most useful. If we're doing a group project, I normally use Google Slides just because it can be live collaboration. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. I'm also talking really fast and I don't know why. We're gonna take a breather. Okay, so anyway.
Very sad. Anyway.
I also have this typing and writing folder where I have Microsoft Word, Apple Pages, and Google Docs. It's much of the same situation as the presentations folder. It depends on the situation, what the teacher wants us to do. I've not ever really used the Apple products. I kept them because I thought they would be interesting to have. So maybe one day I'll play around with it for one of my future classes, but I mostly use either the Microsoft or the Google versions of the same thing. So I'll normally use Microsoft PowerPoint and Word and Google Slides/Docs. I also have this design folder because I am a graphic communications major, so we do a lot of design work. And so I have Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, as well as the Adobe Creative Cloud apps on here because there's a way for me to sync all of my designs through the cloud so that I can edit them on my iPad if I want to edit on the go instead of having to use my laptop or a school computer if I have to. I also have Procreate, which is where I make a bunch of random things. I normally make my thumbnails for my YouTube videos on here. I also have Canva, which is how I make all of my design, like digital collages and vision boards and stuff like that. And then I have iFont, which is a great way to download fonts from any other website that might not be associated with Apple or anything else. And you can download them to this app and then download them straight to your device. So I love this app a lot, especially for design work. And then I have this spreadsheets folder, which has both Excel and Google Sheets. Again, same situation as both the presentations and typing/writing folder. It depends on the situation which one I use, but I have both. And then I have this planning section. So I have Google Calendar that I put in all of my, if I have a meeting or if I have some special event that's going on, I'll normally type it in here. And then I have my Pomodoro to-do focus app that helps me sort of concentrate on one task at a time, helps me with my productivity and motivation. I should probably rename this to a productivity folder instead of planning, but it is what it is. That's all that I have in this folder. And then I have 3 different shortcuts that have all sorts of, it's basically storage apps. So this one's OneDrive. It connects all of my Microsoft things into one place. Voice. So anyway, as I was saying, I have OneDrive, which connects all of my Microsoft things. I have Files, which I connect all of my things in my computer go on here. So anything that's on my desktop, I normally keep on my Files desktop, which connects to iCloud. I can have access to any of my files on all of my devices. It's really nice. And then I have my Google Drive, which connects all of my different Google apps all in one place. And that is it for my actual home screen. Now I have this bottom bar that has all of my most used things. So it has my messages, which I use all the time. It has Safari, my regular personal email, which I have to check apparently. And then I also have my school Gmail on here and photos. And then the things on the other side of the bar change depending on what I have open. So right now, I guess I have open my Reminders app, my Revel app because I was doing homework earlier, and YouTube because I like to listen to background music while I do work. So this is my regular home screen that I have on every day. And then we'll go into the apps that I have. So we'll go into my app library. So all the things that I recently added are all of these things: editing apps, video apps, things like that. I also have Adobe Premiere Rush because one of my classes gives us an extra credit opportunity if we make a video for this final project that we have to do. So I went ahead and downloaded it. In my productivity and finance folder, I have Adobe Acrobat, which is where I edit a bunch of PDFs if I need to, Appfolio that I talked about, Apple Calendar that connects all of my like birthdays and contacts and stuff, my contacts folder, self-explanatory, Creative Cloud, my Discover because I have a Discover card, so we have Discover on here. I also have my Google Docs and Google Drive. I talked about that already. Dropbox is what I used to use for Tiger Band. When we would have music, we would connect our music to our phones or any device to practice on. I should probably delete it because I won't be doing Tiger Band anymore. I talked about that in my very first video that I ever made. I'll have it linked if you want to watch it. It's just all about my college story. So if you want to watch it, go ahead. But I also have Excel, which I talked about earlier, Files I talked about, Gmail I talked about, GoodNotes I talked about, Google Calendar I talked about. Google Keep is just like another version of Apple's Notes app. I don't really use it. I should probably go through this and delete some of the things that I don't use, but they're just here right now. I also have Indeed for when I graduate or need an internship. It's a great place to find jobs. I also have Apple Keynote, Gmail, Mendeley. I think that's like a research app where you can search for scholarly articles. I should probably delete it because I'm not taking a class that requires that anymore. I also have Notability, the Apple Notes app, which I use for a bunch of different things. So I have this for like making video ideas. I have a whole folder on it. I also use it for like holding passwords because your girl has a lot of passwords, and I can't remember all of them.
I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky.
So we have that, and it just holds a bunch of other random things that I feel are important to keep. So OneDrive I talked about. OneNote I should probably delete because it's a little bit like GoodNotes, but I like GoodNotes more because you can actually handwrite stuff. So I might delete OneNote one day. And then I have Pages that I talked about a little bit. Photo widget is where I made a couple of my widgets that I showed you on my home screen. It's where I have my like little calendar widget. That's where I made that in. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I don't know why I have Venmo on my iPad. It's probably because I downloaded it on my phone, and because it's on my iCloud, it downloaded to my iPad, so I should probably delete it from here. Widgetsmith I talked about, and then Word and Zoom. So those are my productivity/finance folder. As far as creativity goes, this is a bunch of photo and video editing, basically is all it is. And then it also has YouTube Studio down here in the bottom. But these are all the things that I use to like edit photos, edit videos, add text, all sorts of things. Fonto is one that I use to add text to my thumbnails. It's been really cool to use. I just have the regular Photos app in here, a bunch of other random apps that I sometimes use. I should probably go through this and my voice is going out again, goodness gracious. I should probably go through this and see which ones I'm actually using, and the ones that I'm not using, I should probably just delete. But these are what I have for now. And then my education one is just a bunch of things related to school. So Coursical helps me with scheduling classes for registration. I have See You Navigate, Pearson Plus. I used this last semester, I think. I should probably just delete it, but it's here. I have Quizlet for studying, Revel for one of my classes that I'm taking this semester. Socratic was one. Socratic, I don't know how to say it, but it's a helpful tool for like math related things. So I have it for my chemistry class just in case I need it. I haven't needed it so far, but it's just here just in case. And then I have Canvas. Utilities are just all of the things that normally come with an iPad except for the fonts and iFont app. Those are both places that I have fonts downloaded. Entertainment, this is just like music and video and things like that. I don't know why I spin the wheels in here. That's that's how I make some of my decisions because I'm that indecisive, especially for finding food. My boyfriend and I use this sometimes. But then in my other tab, I have AccuWeather. My Kindle Night Sky is kind of fun to look at. You can basically turn it on and have a live view of what like stars are around. So we'll try it and see what happens. So it's loading. Yep. So this is sort of like what it does. It lets you see, there we go. It sort of lets you see the stars around you. It's kind of fun to play around with. I do this when I'm bored sometimes, but we have that app. Okay. And so now in my social app, come on, go back straight. No? You're not gonna do it? Okay, we're just gonna do it like this now, I guess. In my social app, I have 2 of my FaceTime / video chat things. I have GroupMe, Instagram, LinkedIn is another good place to find connections for jobs, and then messages. And then for shopping / food, Amazon, the Barnes & Noble bookstore that I have here at school. It's how I order some of my textbooks. I'll order on the app, have it be for pickup, and then I'll go and pick it up when it's in instead of having to go and physically get it. And then I have CVS Pharmacy, which is where I sometimes will get some of my prescriptions if I have a prescription for some reason. I have Instacart, which is like a delivery grocery service, which is great. I also have Sephora because I have a makeup addiction. And Ulta also is the same way. And then I have Target because Target. And then I have a couple games that I like to play. Most of them are Disney themed because your girl's a Disney nerd. And then I have 2048, which is just a fun thing to play when I feel like I need a brain refresh. And then I have a couple health and wellness apps. I can't tap on it because there are just 4 apps in here, but one of them is the health app that connects to my Apple Watch. The other one is connected to CVS Pharmacy. I also have the telehealth app, which is the little message icon with the video. That's how I used to do my remote doctor's appointments. And then I have the W is like a women's exercise app, so it has a bunch of free workouts that I can use. I've not really used it much, but it's here. So that is my entire iPad. Now I want to show you the accessories that I have to go along with it. So the first thing is this iPad is the iPad Pro, the 2021. I really love it. I got it for Christmas and it is well loved, used a lot, literally used every day. It's my baby. I love it so much. But I also have the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. It came with it. I don't think it came with it, but I got it at the same time. So I really like it. It helps with drawing and writing notes and stuff. And then I have this magnetic case. I got it off of Amazon, but it's this really pretty like aqua turquoise color, and it's magnetic. So when you open it up, it turns on automatically. It also can act as a stand like this. So you can put it up and watch a video or something on it. And it also has the little Apple Pencil holder, which is nice because some iPad cases have an opening here, but then the Apple Pencil just magnets freely to it and sometimes it'll fall out and stuff. So I like the fact that it's just here and all secure in one place. But yeah, this is my iPad. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more college content / self-care content. I'm trying to do a little bit of both. So I'm trying to upload a college video on Thursdays and a self-care video on Sundays. So if you're interested in either of those things or both, you know, more the merrier, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.